I would like to invite you to join us for our ICF virtual conference called The Voyage Continues, July 23 through 25 later this summer, beginning at 6 p.m. London time each day. Friday will be devoted to our commemoration of the voyage of the Mayflower 400 years ago. Saturday will be devoted to other Mayflower stories. How did Congregationalism come to the various parts of the world outside of Britain and the United States? Sunday will be devoted to COVID stories from our churches around the world and a collective worship service reaching all the way around the globe. I hope you will be able to join us. To register for this free conference, please go to www.theicf.org.
I'm Manfred Kohl. I was born right in the middle of the Second World War in 1942. I grew up in Germany. I was born into a family that made furniture. And so when I grew up, it was a very difficult time right after the war. I know what starvation meant. I know how we had to struggle for food for several years. And the highlight was when we got some care packages that came from North America. And we thought that's the promised land. And that was always in my mind as I grew up. So I learned my trade as a cabinet maker and was very happy as I learned how to make my tools, how to make a masterpiece, and how to become a master cabinet maker. But then I felt I should leave home, leave all the restriction and all the requirements. I was looking around the world, where could I go for a few years just to find out what would be the future of my life. I went to Africa, I went to Asia, I went to the Middle East. But then I went for 2 years to North America. I arrived in New York. I did not even know the language, but I know how to work as a cabinet maker, as making furniture, good furniture. And I immediately got a job. Within 3 days, I was employed. After 1 month, I was a foreman in a furniture factory, and I was very, very excited. And that's when I came in contact with a congregational idea. I studied pilgrims, and knowing that they also came first from Holland and from England to go to the New World, to start something new, to have a new beginning. I identify myself with them more than with a Lutheran that I was brought up or the Calvinistic tradition. I felt I want to be much more free and independent, just like the ideas of Congregationalism. I was following that dream of absolute freedom, of independence, of achieving things that you could achieve nowhere else. But then I discovered it's not as easy as everyone thinks and dreams of. After my teaching assignment and after I got my doctorate degree, I felt I like to serve people. And for several years, my family and I, we had 2 boys, my wife, the 2 boys and I, we went to Africa. We spent several years in West Africa. I was the regional director for humanitarian agency World Vision. But what I learned in Africa is that relationship is much more important than freedom. Relationship with people, to understand where they are, to sit with them and to feel with them and to to have fun and joy and pain with them, that made my life much more richer, much more valuable. I also had to learn that in the free world, the idea of integrity is a big issue. If you become your own master, if you become completely free and you make all the decision, integrity is an issue that sometimes has to be greater emphasized, and people have to learn what it means to be humble, to be a servant, surely to be leaders and to achieve a lot, but to turn around and learn to be more a servant. So all my dreams that I had as a child, growing up in a time that Hitler destroyed the entire country and socialism has had a tremendous impact on its population. I have now the fulfillment of seeing that my life is worth something, that I can be respected and respect others. I personally think that I have a real exciting, fulfilling, joyful life. That is Manfred Kohl.